Sure. Okay, guys. Leah here. Ubot. So today I'm gonna touch on, or I'm gonna decode um the Showmax documentary um that I watched over the weekend. It's called Steinheist. Steinheist basically just goes on and expose how the CEO of Steinhoff is a what? It's a furniture manufacturing and distribution company founded in Germany, later on expanded their operations to Asia and then later to Africa. And yes, so that documentary basically just touches on the fraud or balance sheet fraud that happened in that company between I think from 1998 until 2017 when when the CEO eventually resigned, you know. So yes, I'm gonna get into all of that. So this is gonna be quite a long video, not really long, maybe about my 12 to 15 minutes. So just bear with me. Very interesting story. Let's get into it. So yes, so yeah, Steinhoff came to South Africa in the late 1990s. When the founder Bruno Steinhoff. Hey, I'm watching so much soccer, guys. Forgive me. Bruno Steinhoff I wanted expansions or wanted operations in Africa, and he came across a man called Marcus Jooster. Now, Marcus Jooster is a Pretoria-born Afrikansman. Did his high school in Pretoria, and then he later on went to go do his University of Stellenbosch. Later on, went to go do his articles and became a chartered accountant. Worked for South African Revenue Services (SARS), and then later on went to go start his own furniture business in the early 1980s. And then yes, in the late 1990s, that's when he met Bruno Steinhoff, whereby they merged their companies and they ended up creating Steinhoff Africa, while there was already an existence of Steinhoff International. And they further on went on and created Steinhoff Group, which is like the parent company now of Steinhoff Africa and Steinhoff International. At that point, that's when Marcus Jooster became the CEO of Steinhoff, and he took over all the operations of Steinhoff, and he went on an expansion journey, worldwide expansion journey. So he went on and started buying companies in the same industry, logistics companies for distribution of the furnitures, timber companies for the resources needed to manufacture the furnitures, you know. But now what was happening is these acquisitions they were not being done by cash. Marcus was literally offering shares in Steinhoff to those companies for them to be part of the Steinhoff group. And guess what? The Steinhoff group, Marcus decorated it so nice that it had a strong balance sheet. You know, the shares were overvalued and they just looked so appealing. They were they listed on the stock exchange upon their acquisition and everything. So they were like this thriving company on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Everybody was buying in Steinhoff. So if Marcus gave you a call and he explained to you the Steinhoff business model, I'm sure you're going to take the deal. So that's what he did. He did as far as taking on companies like Pepco. Pepco is the company that owns Pep. It owns Ackermans, Incredible Connections, and others. So Marcus got that company under his Steinhoff group of companies. And guess what? It was not by cash. It's by in exchange of Steinhoff's worthless shares. Understand? So and yeah, man. So that's what he did. And with that kind of operations, you'll crash, man. You know, there will come a time where you just out of finances, where your assets and your liabilities are not making sense anymore. You understand? So, and that's what happened. That's what basically happened. Like I said, Microsoft was going on acquiring other companies, using the fraudly financially engineered statements, you know. So yes, that's Marcus. And again, your boy went as far as defrauding the company that he was working for. Understand? Doing business with the company and inflating invoices to milk the company. One of the transactions that he did, I think it was in 2001. Um, they wanted the Steinhoff group wanted to buy a forest. Uh, so while they were busy negotiating for this forest, they pulled out. Steinhoff pulled out that nah, they don't want to buy the forest anymore. A few months later, a company appears out of the blue and acquired this forest, and they leased the forest to Steinhoff for 2 years. Guess who owned this company? One of the directors of Steinhoff and the CEO Marcus Jooster of Steinhoff was a director in that same company. So if you are following me, this is basically somebody using inside information um, to take advantage of the situation. So basically, a director in both companies doing business with himself. So again, just continuing on that forest transaction. On that forest transaction. So as the lease was going on, Marcus, the CEO Steinhoff, he decides um, he's buying the forest from the company where they are renting the forest from. So they are gonna end the lease, and then he buys the forest with Steinhoff. Guess how much did he buy it for? Steinhoff bought the forest for 143 million um, from that forest company that Marcus owned with one of the directors, and they bought the forest for 11 million. Can you see the inflated figures there? From 11 million to 143 million in 2 years. Wow, what a value! And for a forest, man, I feel like a forest loses value. So the more you are cultivating the timber out, the more value it's losing. So I don't understand how in 2 years a value can escalate from 11 million to 143 million. But that's Marcus for you, man. That's Marcus. So yes, so that's like one of the highlighted transactions amongst the so many dirty transactions that Marcus was engaging in. Yes. So I think around 2017, before he resigned, he acquired what is this company? He acquired what is this company? Shoe company. He acquired Take It Town. He acquired Take It Town, and again he offered them shares in Steinhoff to acquire controlling interest in Take It Town. Now, controlling interest means you you are like an owner, that you are not like an owner, you're an owner that actually controls the company. Like you are the boss of that company when you have controlling interest. So that's what he did. Imagine getting controlling interest in another company with worthless shares. No cash, just shares, and those shares, they are worthless. That's Marcus. you know so, and that's what basically he was doing when he was embarking on his expansion journey. In Australia, he bought a couple of companies there, in Europe, South America, some parts of North America. The boy was out there, getting all these companies, giving them shares in Steinhoff, and he takes over control. And then, you know what? The boy went as far as started cooking the books now. So what happened is, like, most of those companies that he was acquiring, they were loss-making companies. So Steinhoff, the CEO, he goes down. I can imagine goes down to the finance department from CEOs always sit upstairs. Goes down to the finance department, and he makes sure this department, they prepare these financials to the extent that these financials are they appear to be profitable on paper. As much as the group was making a loss on paper, this company was very much profitable. And guess what? Your boy was paying 14% um Where is this corporate tax? Corporate tax in South Africa is like 28%. Here in Namibia is I think 32%. Yeah. Your boy was paying 14%. And what is his explanation? He's saying no, we are operating in different jurisdictions with different tax rules. So yes, but dog man, you're consolidating in South Africa. How are you not paying 28%? So those are some of the things Marcus was doing, lowering the corporate tax for his group. Because this man worked at SARS, man. He worked at SARS, he knows. The loopholes, yeah, SARS. So yes, again, your question, how did the auditors not pick this up? Again, Marcus made sure his accounting policies were not consistent. He made sure in every financial period he acquired a company and he changed the reporting period. So in accounting, you have 12 months to keep your accounting records. So that's what we call like a financial period, 12 months. So Marcus, those 12 months, he started switching them up, you know. Maybe last time the financial year was ending in Feb. Now it's gonna end in August, or it's gonna end um, before Feb. Just by saying, yeah, because we took on companies with different financial periods. So yes. So in that breath, you are giving a lot of work to the auditors, and even them, because of the inconsistency with accounting policies, they will not really be able to pick up fraud because every time they come in, the work is it's new work. It's not like we can rely on what prior year information. It's new work. You have to start from scratch, and you have limited time to do your audit. you know so yes, that was Marcus, man. So basically that's actually what I wanted to touch on in Steinhoff. The small guys, it's like a three-part series. If you have Showmax, you should check it out. Steinheist, very interesting. If you are in accounting, economics, or in law, if you are interested in those fields, this is the docket to watch. You should check it out. Thank you guys. You should have a great week. Elia, cheers.